Good morning. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. My people, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American, the Latinos, etc.? All in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to my protest. And as you know, when I have protested and when I have updated you as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and delight to bring to you something from the word of the Most High God. My people, we are still in the book of Revelation, and we have been uncovering many wonderful truths you have never heard before. And this is because the Most High God have honored my faithfulness to Him. You will never hear these kind of truths coming from the established religion or even those televangelists, because they are in this thing for the money. It's all about the Benjamins. And they will never do or say anything, even if they were directed by the Most High God Himself, that will jeopardize their lust, thirst, and hunger for the dollar. Today we are going to continue from Revelation chapter 13, and we are going to do Revelation chapter 13, verse 5 and 6. And there are some very interesting things we have to unpack here. And one of the things I wanted to be careful with is, if you are going to follow in my steps and speak truth, you will notice that you will become very unpopular, especially with those people who controls the resources of the earth. So if you really want to speak truth, you have to be careful that you are not going to be popular with those people who controls the Benjamin, and you will go literally broke. So let us begin to uncover some new truths. Revelation chapter 13, verse 5 and 6. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and they that dwells in the heaven. When you look at this passage of scriptures, it looks short and insignificant. You would have thought that everything that you need to know was self-explanatory right here. But when you go a little deeper, you will discover that this only scratched the surface. So let us take some time and break down what is said here. The first part of the scripture says, and there was given unto him a mouth to speak great things and blasphemy. The first question you have to answer here is, who is the him the scriptures is speaking about? The him the scriptures is speaking about is the beast. And as we have learned from previous study, the beast represents the Caucasians nation. Remember, Revelation chapter 13, verse 1, a beast came out of the sea, which represented the birth of a new nation. And we have learned that the Caucasians, the first Caucasians, which was Esau, the father of the Edomites, he was born in BC 2006. Esau was the first Caucasian. And here we're speaking about the nation that the beast that came out of the sea represents the Caucasians nation. Now, he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. Now, what is blasphemy? Blasphemy is the disrespect for God and the things that God holds dear. If you are a student of English language, you will know in English language there is something that is called topic sentences. And a topic sentence is a sentence that introduced a particular topic. For example, verse 5 can be considered a topic sentence because what it did, it introduced some topics that will be dealt with later on in chapter 13 from verse 6 go down. And let me explain to you, let me show you how this happens. In Revelation chapter 13:5, it says that he was given a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemy. Then in Revelation chapter 13, verse 6, and it says, he opened his mouth in blasphemy. So now what is happening here? Revelation chapter 13, verse 6 is going to qualify that which Revelation chapter 13, verse 5 introduced. So Revelation chapter 13, verse 6 says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. So when he opened his mouth, the things that he uttered were disrespectful of the Most High God and the things of the Most High God. And we'll get into that a little later. And remember here, the he we are speaking about is the Caucasians nation, no one else. And it qualifies it, it says, he blasphemed his name, God's name, his tabernacle, and they that dwells in the heaven. Let me break this down for you. Now, when it says that he blasphemes the name of the Most High, what did the Caucasians do that was blasphemous to the name of the Most High? The Most High, the God of creation, the God who controls and directs all of the affairs of this earth, all of the affairs of man. His name is not God. God is a title. For many, 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 many years, our people have been going around and addressing the Most High by his title, God, God, God. They did not know what his name was, and that was because the Caucasians hid his name. A name is not just something that you call someone by. A name represents their character, their personality, and their reputation. So when you call a person by the name of John, or when you speak of John, before you picture John, your subliminal mind conjure up his personality, his character, and his reputation. For example, if a person did something nice for you and someone is speaking about that person, as soon as you hear that person's name, a smile is going to come up on your face because you remember the nice thing that that person did for you. If that person offended you, as soon as you hear that person's name, immediately a frown will come up on your face because that name conjured up a bad memory. So a person's name represents their character, their personality, and their reputation. And even before you register what they're speaking about, your subconscious have already analyzed what they're speaking about. And it reflects on the emotion that you show when you hear their name. How important is a name? The Muslim have one God, and anytime they speak about that God, which is the same God as the Israelites, they refer to him as Allah by his name because a name means a lot. The Hindus have thousands of gods, and each of those gods has a name, and the Hindu never mix up the name of their gods. And when they are speaking about a specific God, they always remember to address their gods with reverence. So here we have the white man hid the name of the Most High God, and he had people for many, 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 many years referring to the Most High as just by his title as God. And that is a blasphemous act. And when they were questioned as to what is the name of God, they give us a fictitious name that was close to his real name, but it was not the name that reflects his character, his personality, and his reputation. They tell you that his name was Yahweh. Sorry, it was Jehovah. But the name of the Most High God is Yahweh. The name Yahweh is mentioned in the Hebrew Masonic text, the text from which the Bible is translated 6,832 times. Yet it never appeared in the Bible. Why? Because they don't want you to know his name. Because if you really start calling on the true name of the Most High God, he will be tempted to answer you in ways they don't want him to answer you. What happened when the Hebrews that were in Egypt repented and called upon the name of the Most High God? The Most High God sent his man Moses to deliver them out of Egyptian bondage. Today, we are still under white bondage. They fool us and tell us that we are free, but yet they can shoot us down. Not me, really. They can shoot you down in public and get away with it. You can never do that to one who is free. When you say not you, really, what do you mean? I mean that they cannot shoot me down. They have no authority to shoot me. They have no authority. They cannot kill me. Because I am faithful to the Most High God, and I am unconditionally faithful to the Most High God. So that is how the Caucasians blasphemed the name of the Most High God. And then it says they blaspheme his tabernacle. What is a tabernacle? The tabernacle is a place where the Most High God, priests and ministers, administers the affairs of the Most High God. The temple of the Most High God. The Caucasians had the Israelites, our people, our foreparents, in bondage for many, many decades. And when the Israelites revolt in AD 70, after the Caucasians quieted the revolts, what did they do? They loot the temple of the Most High God and they stole all of the scriptures and the furnishing from the temple of the Most High God. After which, they destroyed the temple of the Most High God by fire. They blasphemed against the tabernacle of the Most High God. The Most High God hated the Caucasians. They was not supposed to enter into his tabernacle. Yet they enter into his tabernacle and they looted his tabernacle, his temple. They stole the scriptures and they stole all of the furnishing, and afterwards they burned the temple. We have never seen the scriptures from since AD 70 because the Caucasians shipped the scriptures back to Rome and they still have possession of the scriptures of the Most High God up to today. And they blaspheme they that dwells in the heaven. Each time you see a portrait of the angels of heaven that is presented by a Caucasian artist, what race are those angels? They always appear to be white. Well, I have some great news for you. The angels of heaven are not white. They are all melanated creatures. You go into the scriptures and you read about the angels when they are described in scriptures. They are described as either being amber, which is gold, bronze, or burnished brass. When they portray the angels of heaven as being pale skin or white, it is a blasphemous act because the Most High God created the creatures of heaven in his image, like he created men. And one of the things that is synonymous to the angels of heaven, each time a description of the angels are given, they are either given as burnished brass, brass, amber, or gold. And all of those colors have one thing in common. They are synonymous with the same complexion of the Most High God and the heir and the Son of God, as well as the complexion of the first man, Adam, and the complexion of the Israelites. When Satan, the angel that was formerly known as Lucifer, was cast out of heaven with 1/3 of the heavenly hosts, one of the things that the Most High stripped them of, he stripped them of their melanin, because melanin is a godlike feature, it is a godlike quality. And those people who are melanated, this is the godlike features that we have. That is why David was able to say in the Psalms, don't you know that you are gods? Because we have those godlike qualities, which is melanin. They are telling you how important melanin is in science today. They are using melanin in computer chips because they say melanin is so important in the conduction of energy and power, electricity, and in transmitting messages. Remember to like this video, share this video, leave your comments, and let me know what are your thoughts about what we have discussed here. You can either subscribe or like based on where you are looking at. And remember, there are many more videos like this right here. So go down, peruse those videos, and let me know what are your thoughts about what you have discovered in those videos. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. Talk to you soon.